So good morning my dear students. Now in this video I will start from here, cell membrane and cell wall. In the previous video we have discussed about cell organelles. Now my dear students, I will start from here, cell membrane and cell wall. Each cell is surrounded by cell membrane or plasma membrane. Cell membrane or plasma membrane is present, my dear students, in both plant as well as animal cell. Now let us see some important things about the cell membrane and cell wall. The cell membrane is living. Yes, my dear students, this is one of the point. The cell membrane is living and has fine pores through which substance may enter and leave the cells. Then second thing, cell membrane is composed of lipoproteins. Cell membrane is made up of lipoproteins, and the permeability of cell membrane is selective, or we can say it is semi-permeable. Cell membrane or plasma membrane is semi-permeable or selectively permeable membrane. Now my dear students, why the plasma membrane is known as semi-permeable or selectively permeable? It is because, my dear students, it allows only certain substances. It allows only certain substances to pass through it, while it prevents the others. This is the answer for that particular question. So my dear students, the question can be asked from here, why the plasma membrane is why the plasma membrane is known as semi-permeable or selectively permeable membrane. Then my dear students, you have to write this answer, because it allows only certain substances to pass through it, while it prevents the others. Next, my dear students, plant cell have cell wall. Plant cell, it have got the cell wall. Next, let us see. Plant cell, it has got cell wall. Animal cell do not have cell wall. And this cell wall is made up of cellulose. Like cell membrane was made up of only lipoproteins, and cell wall is made up of cellulose. And one more thing, it is a non-living substance. Cellulose is a non-living substance. Then next, the cell wall gives shape and a certain degree of rigidity to the cell without interfering with the functions of the cell membrane. Next, my dear students, the cell wall is freely permeable. The cell wall is freely permeable. Clear? Why it is freely permeable? Why the cell wall is known as freely permeable membrane? Because it allows mostly all the substances to pass through it. Clear? Because it allows mostly the all substances to pass through it. Actually, this topic, difference between cell membrane and cell wall, I have already discussed in yesterday's video. The video which I uploaded, in that, in my written notes, I have already made a difference between plant cell and animal cell, and I hope most of the students, they might have written that in your notebook. Next, my dear students, you have to draw the diagrams. We'll discuss this cytoplasm just now. Just look here. These are the diagrams of animal cell and plant cell. Clear? These diagrams you have to practice, and you have to draw in your notebook also. Clear? Please practice drawing the diagram of plant cell and animal cell. Clear? Next, my dear students, we will discuss cytoplasm. Next, we shall discuss cytoplasm. This cytoplasm definition also I discussed in the yesterday's video in my handwritten notes. Now, what is cytoplasm? Cytoplasm is a semi-liquid substance. Semi-liquid, or what kind of substance? Jelly-like substance. Cytoplasm, it is a jelly-like substance. Clear? Cytoplasm is a semi-liquid substance or jelly-like substance which is present between plasma membrane or cell membrane and nucleus. So cytoplasm is a semi-liquid substance which is present between plasma membrane and nucleus. This definition of cytoplasm I have already discussed earlier. Now, my dear students, let us move further. Next, my dear students, you can see that many chemical reactions takes place in the cytoplasm. In the cytoplasm, many chemical reactions takes place, and living cytoplasm is always in the state of some movement. It means cytoplasm, it does not remain in rest. It always shows some slow movement. Next, my dear students, in the cytoplasm of the cell, there are several cell organelles. In the cytoplasm of the cell, there are several cell organelles. Now, about them we will study one by one. First, we will study endoplasmic reticulum. The first cell organelle we are going to study is endoplasmic reticulum. My dear students, there are two types of endoplasmic reticulum. In a short, we can say ER. ER means endoplasmic reticulum. Now, my dear students, there are two types of endoplasmic reticulum. One is SER. SER means smooth endoplasmic reticulum. And the other kind of endoplasmic reticulum is RER. RER means rough endoplasmic reticulum. Now let us see the difference between them. Let us see what is the difference between SER and RER. So my dear student, SER means smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Smooth endoplasmic reticulum are those endoplasmic reticulum whose surface does not contain ribosomes. The endoplasmic reticulum whose surface does not contain ribosomes, they are known as smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Then next RER. RER means rough endoplasmic reticulum. These are the type of endoplasmic reticulum whose surface contain ribosomes. So their surface become rough due to the ribosomes. So my dear students, when the ribosomes are present on the endoplasmic reticulum, its surface become rough, and this is known as rough endoplasmic reticulum. Rough endoplasmic reticulum. Clear all of you? And when there is no ribosomes, then their surface remains smooth, and hence it is known as smooth endoplasmic reticulum. So we can divide the endoplasmic reticulum into two, SER and RER. Now let us discuss the other things. The endoplasmic reticulum is so fine in structure that its existence is revealed only through electron microscope. So we can see it by an electron microscope. It is an irregular network of double membranes distributed over the entire cytoplasm in a cell. At its outer end, endoplasmic reticulum is connected with cell membrane. Just see to it. One end of endoplasmic reticulum is connected to cell membrane, and the other end of endoplasmic reticulum is connected to nuclear membrane. So my dear student, one end is connected to the cell membrane and the other end of endoplasmic reticulum is connected to nuclear membrane. Then next it appears rough when small granules called ribosomes are attached. So when ribosomes are attached, it is known as rough endoplasmic reticulum. I have already explained to you this. And attached to it and appears smooth without dam. It means that if ribosomes are not present, then they can be called as a smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Next, my dear students, this is the function of the endoplasmic reticulum. Let us discuss the function. This is the function. This point. Clear? This point is the function. So you have to study the function also. The supporting framework of the cell. Let us see to it. It forms supporting framework of the cell and serve as pathway for distribution of material. So it helps in the distribution of material from one part of the cell to another part. It helps in the distribution of material from one part of the cell to another part. Now let us discuss the next. Now we'll discuss the next second cell organelle. The second cell organelle is ribosomes. Clear, my dear students? The second let us see to it. The second cell organelle is ribosomes. Ribosomes are known as the site of protein synthesis. So which are the site of protein synthesis? Ribosomes. Now my dear students, some of the ribosomes, they are scattered freely in the cytoplasm and some are attached to endoplasmic reticulum. Clear? So ribosomes, they are known as site of protein synthesis, and they are also known as factories for the synthesis of protein. Factories for the synthesis of proteins. So my dear students, ribosomes, they are known as the site of protein synthesis. Some of the ribosomes are scattered freely in cytoplasm and some are being attached with endoplasmic reticulum. You must know the function of each and every cell organelle. Now let us move further. The next cell organelle is mitochondria. Next cell organelle is mitochondria. Let us see to it. Mitochondria, powerhouse of the cell. Mitochondria is known as powerhouse of the cell. This mitochondria, it provides energy for the cell to do various functions. The mitochondria are spherical or rod-shaped body. These are minute double-walled bags with their inner walls produced into finger-like processes projecting inward called cristae. So my dear students, mitochondria is a double membraned structure. It is a the mitochondria is a double membrane structure. This can be called as the outer membrane. Clear? Then this one can be called as the inner membrane. Inner membrane you will find somewhat in folded forms. Clear? Inner membrane you will find in folded form. Clear? This is the rough diagram which I am showing you. So this one is the outer membrane and the inner membrane is this one, the inner side, and the inner membrane is folded. The inner membrane is folded. Next, mitochondria are the sites where cell respiration occurs to release energy. Clear? So these mitochondria are the sites which releases the energy. This energy, it is stored in the form of energy rich compound ATP. Now the energy is stored in the mitochondria in the form of ATP. What is this ATP? ATP is adenosine triphosphate. The full form of ATP is adenosine triphosphate and is used in various metabolic functions of the cell and in turn of the body. Because they store ATP, as the mitochondria store ATP, they are known as the powerhouse of the cell. So they are known as the powerhouse of the cell because they store the energy in the form of ATP and they provide energy to each and every cell. Next, mitochondria contain their own DNA. These mitochondria, they have got their own DNA. So they can replicate very easily. So we are discussing now about the mitochondria, my dear students. Mitochondria is known as the powerhouse of the cell. Clear? Because they store energy in the form of ATP and they provide energy for other activities, for doing the other functions in the cell. Next my dear student is Golgi apparatus. Golgi apparatus, the delivery system of the cell. The Golgi apparatus occurs in the form of granules, filaments or rods which are supposed to be originated from endoplasmic reticulum. So this Golgi body, that is also linked with endoplasmic reticulum. These are very small vesicles of different shape and are generally located near the nucleus. So where Golgi bodies are present? Near the nucleus. The Golgi complex consists of many small group hollow tubular structure with membranous walls called cisternae and is associated with some minute vesicles and vacuoles. Golgi complex in plants are more specifically known as dictyosomes. So Golgi apparatus, it is not present in plant cell. Instead of it, dictyosomes are present. Clear all of you? Instead of Golgi apparatus, what is present? Dictyosomes. Next, they usually contain smaller and more scattered group of cisternae and vesicles. So they contain cisternae and vesicles. Both Golgi complexes and dictyosomes are concerned with. Now this is the function of Golgi complex: secretion of the cell including enzymes, hormones, etc., and their packing and transport to different sites within the cell. So they help in the secretion of enzymes, hormones, as well as they help in the packing and transport of these enzymes and hormones. Clear all of you? So that is about that we are discussing is about the Golgi bodies. Next, my dear students, are the lysosomes. Lysosomes are small vesicles of different shape containing digestive enzymes. So these lysosomes, they contain digestive enzymes. Lysosomes are small vesicles, they contain digestive enzyme. Their enzyme destroy and digest foreign substance around them. If any foreign substance enters the cell, my dear students, if any foreign substance enters the cell, then these enzymes, they destroy and digest it. Next, they digest the stored food during unfavorable condition when food is unavailable to the cell. They can even digest stored food during unfavorable condition when food is unavailable to the cell. Clear? So this all we are discussing about the lysosomes, my dear students. Lysosomes, they are also known as suicidal bags. Let us complete this. Lysosomes. Many damaged cells are rapidly destroyed or dissolved by their own lysosomes, hence they are known as suicidal bags. So my dear students, lysosomes are known as suicidal bags. Now why lysosomes are known as suicidal bags? Because they can even damage their own cell. Clear? They can even degrade their own cell. Clear all of you? When the cell get damaged or it get old, then its lysosome will burst, and when the lysosome will burst, it will degrade the whole cell content. It will degrade the whole cell content. So next we will discuss in the next video.